go into the players pool so the audience understands as far as how they get paid when it comes playoff time. So like we told you, the owners want to extend the playoffs and they want to make it longer because they get 100% of the revenue. But what a lot of people don't know is how the players get paid. So when it comes to all the series, they basically make a percentage structure and they cut it in between the winners and losers. I'm going to run through it real quick. So they created a players pool, and in the world, I'm going to start actually in the wild card game. In the wild card game, 50% of all the tickets that they sell, it goes to the players. So basically, the visiting team,
not the sold tickets at the gate.
Yeah, tickets at the gate.
The sold tickets that don't show up go 100% to the owners.
Yes, you're 100% right. 100% right. So to let you know, 50% of the total gate of the wild card game goes to the players. Then that's after deducting the traveling expenses of the visiting club, which is a maximum of $100,000 per club from the total gate. The losers of the wild card game only get 3%. 3%. So the 47% goes to the winners. Okay. Now let's go to the division series. The division series, 60% of the total gates, if it's 3 games, basically, and then 13% goes to the losers. So that means the 47% goes to the winners. Then the league championship series, 60% of, and let's get this right. Like what I said, it's in the division series, it's only the first 3 games. All the other games, if it goes any more than that, it's basically free money for the owners or free money to whoever it gets split off to.
And keep in mind too that unless these players have specific postseason incentives written into their contracts, this is the only money they're getting for playing these games. Their salary is all paid up at the end of the season. So if a team's going to go out and lose a 3-game series, or I'm sorry, lose a wild card game, all they get is 3% of the gate, and that's it.
Yep. So, like I said, the division series is only the first 3 games, and then the league championship series is only the first 4 games, with 24% going to the loser. So that would be 36% going to the winning team. So you're you know, let's put it in, you know, you working at your job. If somebody left your job and they put more responsibility on you and never hired another person to take over the person the guy that just left, I think you would want more money. No? This is kind of like that.
And then they're going to tell you that the overtime you have to work to cover the other person's responsibilities is going to pay you less money.
Yeah. Exactly. This is like saying, hey, more responsibility, but guess what? We're not paying you anything.
Yeah, and it's like, I get it. It's a privilege to be there and all that, but so doesn't matter what your dream job is. It's a privilege to do that for a living, but you still want to get compensated for it.
My father always told me, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially what these guys are doing after the first 4 games. That's what they're doing. So you see why these guys want to get paid. And then now let's go to the World Series. The World Series, 60% of the first 4 games. Of the first 4 games, not even 7, 5, 6, 4. The winner takes 36%. And then the loser gets, 24. But still, guys, you got to understand what we're saying here. You see how it's the owners get that much and it keeps growing, and then the players are getting like a slice of a pie.
Damn, Freddie Freeman, I really now understand why you should get a blank check now. I mean, the performance,
yeah.
You need a blank check because you need a blank check.
And think about it this way, like this is 26 years coming. Like you have labor peace for that long. Times have changed. And now unfortunately you have, and this is the problem with baseball. We like to hang on to, nostalgia and how things were and be resistant to change. This is the modern athlete, and athletes in all sports on all facets of the games have become more shrewd, more savvy. They've become more, advocates for themselves and each other. So if you're in this elite fraternity and you've decided to give up your body, of course you're going to pay attention to what the NBA is doing. Of course you're going to pay attention to what, the money and deals that maybe tennis players are making or the autonomy they have. You're going to pay attention. You're going to talk. Of course, the best players talk to each other, right? So the owners, and I'd hate, to put, the onus on the owners, but realize times have changed. And with everything going up, cost of living higher, and more money to be made and more money to be spent, closed mouth don't get fed. So there's always been trailblazers. There's always been, these athletes who, make a decision to take that risk and bet on themselves, and they've succeeded. They backed it up. When has an athlete not, backed it up? Or as a collective here. So
yeah, and the players are finally, once again, I mean, because we had it in the strike in the mid 90s, realizing that, we have all these things we want, and we don't have all the money, but we actually have all the power, because if we don't play, there is no game.
Mm-hmm. And let's take this a step further. There's people out there that are like, oh, but the players, they get their expenses paid for through the year, staying here, traveling the country, seeing different places. Yeah, that's all cool and all. But, again, let's go to the owner side of this. Like, you guys out there understand that the owners, this is not the only business they have. They have multi-millionaire businesses that they basically fund their team with those businesses, right? This is not the only revenue they have. And it's, for them, it's nothing paying for the teams, stay in a hotel, the food they want, whatever they want. But now let's think of the player side of this. 8 months, because the season basically starts in March when they report to spring training, or a little earlier if you want to report earlier. So March through October, if you're playing in the World Series, you're not laying down in your own bed. How many times have you guys gone on vacation for like 2 weeks and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to lay down on my own bed? That's just 2 weeks. You're talking about 8 months on the road. 8 months.
Or if you do, it's for 6 days during the All-Star break, or a day or two here and there when you have a home series.
If you live in that state.
Yeah.
So guys, it's about time you got start seeing it at the player side. Like the players need to be compensated in a way to where we're never gonna go through this. We can talk about this all we want, but just talking about it, and it on their end, they're getting the short end of the stick. And
Jorge, one of the reasons why a lot of fans don't see it that way, because the only thing the fans see is what they see. And what's the only thing you see when a player it scrolls right there on that little fast line?
The amount and how many years.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
That's why they always look at, oh, he's living good. He really ain't. He really ain't. Because, like you said, it's 166 games in a season. Half of those are on the road. Am I right? So that's like, what? 80, that's 82, that's 80, 83 games. 83 games on the road.
You're not quite right. 162 games.
Yeah.
I say 166. 162. That's what? 80,
81.
81 games. You're not at home. You're not in the comfort of your own home. You see these owners getting paid like this, and you can't get none of that either. But again, all you see, 5 years, 250 million, or whatever it may be, whatever astronomical number that baseball come up, that's all you see. But that don't be it, man. Some people got to look at it from the player side.
Hey, y'all, this is Cat 5. Just wanted to thank you for watching the show. We really appreciate you checking us out. This was part 2 of our lockout conversation. Part 1 is right there on your screen. And the other thing on your screen there is our Hall of Fame show. Make sure you don't miss that. The Baseball Writers Association has got to be taken down a peg or two, and that's something that we did in that video. All of our socials are in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Make sure you check those out. And as always, keep the scene on your screen, and we'll see y'all next time.